Hello all, welcome back to my channel. My name is Samad. So in this section of the online application process, I will be sharing you the walkthrough through the finance part, the documentation part, and also the declaration part. These sections are a little bit quicker to complete because it's mostly just asking you whether you understand what you're supposed to provide in terms of the documents, and also whether you understand that you need to be eligible for certain finances, and also whether you understand that you are consenting to providing this information to the Home Office in the UK. So let's get through this walkthrough so that you can see what to expect. Let's get started. Disclaimer: this information will not guarantee that you will get a spouse visa. I'm only sharing my experience and the process that I went through with you so that you know what to anticipate when you do your own application as well. So once you are finished with that section of the application form, you click save and continue, and then they will move on to the financial parts, which is basically that minimum of like 18,600 per year in terms of like sponsor employment annual income, or your savings, or I don't remember what it was. I think it was combined savings or a separate income. Mine is my husband's employment and his annual pay. So they will first ask you whether or not your partner actually receives any benefits. My partner doesn't receive any benefits, so I just put no. And then they ask about additional children again. And then they will ask about the financial requirements. So does your partner meet the financial requirement, and how? He does for me. And see, they'll ask these sections. So your partner's employment, self-employment, non-employment income, so that has to do with like owning properties and getting like rent payments and stuff, pension or cash savings. I clicked my husband's employment because he meets the financial requirements in terms of his full-time permanent job. And then they'll ask you the details about your partner's job, so whatever the job is, permanent, whether it's permanent, the date that he started, how long he has been working there, and whether or not he has been continuously earning the same amount of money in the last 6 months, and what his annual income is. You have to put it based on what the employment letter says before the tax. So make sure you put that properly. And then they will ask the details of the employer. So it has to be obviously a British company, so whatever the address is, and it has to be the official one. Oh, and also you should put the company phone number, but I think it's important to put like the HR phone number, because just in case the Home Office wants to like ask questions for the employer or whatever, they need to get a number that they can actually get in touch with someone. So we got the HR person to like provide an official phone number that can be reached by the Home Office just in case they want to call them up and ask if my husband actually works there. And also company email, we also put like the official HR person, so they can actually, it's not just like the random one on the website like info at whatever, because sometimes people won't hear back from that email for like weeks, for example. So it's better to get like a HR person's number, and you inform the HR person that there is a chance of the Home Office like contacting them to just ask questions about your partner's employment. And then this one is about any additional employment income, so I guess any side hustles, freelance, or whatever it is. My husband is just a full-time worker, so no. Do you want to add any previous jobs within the last 12 months? So if within the last 12 months your partner has changed jobs, so like for example, my partner changed jobs this year and he actually got a new job in the mid of the year. So if there was a previous job and there's like an increase of annual income, you have to put those details in. So we actually clicked yes, and we actually put like all of the details previously, and we actually put in the application form stating that we have actual evidence that he has been employed with these 2 companies this year, and that his annual income has increased, and that it will be reflected in the payslips and also the bank statements that he has, that his pay is being paid into. So I actually added that detail into my application form so that they understood that my partner has actually changed jobs and he also had an increase of annual income. You have to put as much details as possible like this so that it's clear as day in your application form. So this is a section where you can also add any information regarding your partner's employment. So like I mentioned before, my partner actually changed jobs and he actually has an increase of pay, and it's being reflected in the bank statements and also the pay slips. So I actually mentioned that information in this section of the application form. I also put like the bank details and what bank the bank statements come from and all that stuff. Now we've reached the end of the finance section, and you can once again see everything clearly, and if you need to edit anything, just go back to this section and just click change, and then you can edit it. So once you have checked everything in the finance part, you will head into the documents part, and this is basically just you checking all of the things that you need to provide for the documentation part. So just read everything. You have to like click the checklist and make sure that you provide everything that they've stated here. So I provided my passport, I provided a copy of my husband's passport, I provided other documents like my English transcript, my proof of relationship, so marriage certificate, and WhatsApp information and travel information and all that stuff, and then a proof of my husband's citizenship. So I gave the passport and I also gave his driver's license as well. And then at the bottom it also states about the tuberculosis test results, and you have to check whether or not your country needs to provide this as part of the application. Malaysians need to provide TB tests, whether it be for student visa, work visa, or spouse visa. You have to do a tuberculosis test. So once you understand that, just click save and continue, and then you will reach this page, which is the declarations part. So for the declarations part of this application form is basically you understanding what you are applying for. If your application is successful, there will be conditions on your visa or leave to remain. This will include, for example, whether you are able to work in the UK. If you stay in the UK without permission, they're basically telling you what can happen. And then once you understand that, you just click I confirm, and then I understand, and then save and continue. And then once again, you will reach this page where you're basically saying that you can consent to the organization having all of your information and your passport. Once you understand that that's what's going to happen, that they're going to hold your passport, you click I am an applicant age 18 and over, and then I accept the above. So you accept the declaration basically. This is just a consensual thing so that you understand what you're applying for. Okay guys, so that is the end of this section of the online application, which includes the finance, documents, and declaration part. In the next video, we are going to move on to the IHS surcharge and how much it costs and what process you have to go through. Check out that next video after this, and I'll see you in that one.